It is day 2 here at 3D Printopia 2024. There is so much more to take a look at, so let's get into meeting some awesome makers and companies. We're over at E3D here at 3D Printopia 2024, and we got Roto Vitamins. Right now, it's really kind of focusing in on the Voron crowd, but it is brand new mounting systems for the Roto Revo so that you're able to take this crazy lightweight with metal 3D printing and put it into whatever printer that you want, but now with dedicated ones for Vorons. Can we take a look at some?
Yes, definitely.
This thing is super cool, and just tucked way in the back there is Roto. This whole thing weighs less than my current tool head does. With the base on it.
Light. The motor and the gearbox is, I think it's around 100 grams just for the, that's essentially your entire extruder. And then you add in the printed covers and things like that. It is very light.
Yeah, it makes for an incredibly lightweight system now with duet integration as well, right?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of different tool board options. So this is, as you said, the duet one, which also works with their duet Roto filament encoder. Bit of a mouthful,
nice, very nice.
That is very cool. And additionally, the one further down to the right is a clipper version. So this is
specifically for clipper.
Yeah, LGO did the tool board for this one.
Really like the
cool,
heat
right?
sink cooling on that. Yeah, it's trick.
So these are all completely interchangeable. The same way, so the ones we have here are for the stealth burner. So the same as you would normally expect. You have an extruder module, you have a hot end module, and then you have your front cover. It fits in with all of that. The way that we've color coded it is everything that's red is the new parts you have to print.
Okay.
So this is a single piece. All prints without support, as you would expect, with the
very nice
Voron stuff.
That is a nice red too.
It's really nice.
It's a really nice red. The base Roto system is very tiny, very lightweight, and we have a Roto system. So would you guys like to see that mounted on our Trident? Let me know in the comments, because I want to find a good home for it.
Definitely.
That we can really test this thing to its limits, because it's metal 3D printed and I love it. It is really good, and it weighs like nothing. It's physically also incredibly tiny, which is very valuable when you're trying to make printers go fast.
Yeah, and as you can see with like the Dragon Burner version, which is just to the left, that one right there,
okay. I don't know the Vorons very well.
That's fine.
So you got a Dragon Burner.
Which is one of the options that's quite popular for the V0s, for the smaller machines. And so you can pack that right in. Again, same thing, it fits in the extruder module place, so you can swap that in and out with different versions or with different hot ends and things like that.
That's a really, really nice piece, and just it looks good. It's lightweight, and when you're trying to do V0s, which of course they're designed to go very fast, and people print them at incredible speeds. Albert 24/7, I'm looking at you, or 24/7 printing, I'm looking at you, because more lightweight, more better, and this would absolutely be up his alley to just try to reduce the weight as much as possible. That is super cool, and
it's neat.
I noticed there's a hint of purple hanging out here as well.
Yes.
We've got Revo PZ, which is a piezo disc for nozzle probing, right?
Exactly, yes.
Super cool. And one, gotta love the purple, really tiny branded ribbon cable.
Well, you've got to, you know.
Yeah, I smoke them if you got them, right? And it comes pre-assembled like this, right?
Yeah, so there are two versions. The one you have here is the integrated one into a Voron heatsink.
Okay.
It's the same overall size, so you can swap out a standard Voron heatsink and nothing else changes.
Boom and boom and you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
But we do also sell the washer element on its own. So if you are wanting to do some crazy implementation for your own custom builds, you can do that. And that is the PCB. So that outputs the signal back to your main board, and it just works. The signal output is essentially just the same as a micro switch. So just an on-off, and that's how it detects.
That is so nice.
It is, yeah. And you can cycle through different sensitivities.
Okay.
So depending on how you're probing or the mechanics of your system, you can make it fit with any of them.
So basically higher accuracy if you want it, but you're going to likely give up some speed to do the probing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you go too sensitive, then it might not necessarily trigger at the right point. So it's finding that perfect balance, right? You want it to get as sensitive as you can without tipping over into that. And that will integrate straight into that stealth burner.
Really?
So if you actually pick that up, there's one of those boards tucked in away right here at the back. There
there it is, right
so
in the back.
You can fit that in. So with this, you could have the nozzle contact probing and the optimized gearbox in there as well.
Less and less and less weight, which means, well, you gotta go fast. That's awesome. More go fast bits here at E3D to help your printers continue to print well, because it's worth it. Promise.
All of the files for these are available online. If you go to our documentation and look at the data sheet, there are links to all of them there. So you can take the base card and then you can integrate it into whatever system you have, or you can tweak any of these files if you have a custom board or something like that you want to make it work with. Additionally, there is a blog that shows the principles in the design we use to transform it into a FDM.
Very
part.
nice.
So if you all want to make your own, you can follow along with those so that you will know it'll work with your design.
Love it, love it.
Perfect.
E3D's got a lot to help you guys get your printers printing with purpose and really making certain that if you want to make modifications, you can literally just go ahead and do it. It's one of the core values of being somewhat open source, being able to assist the community where possible.
100%.
You know we love that kind of thing here. And if you do want to see our tour of E3D that we did last year at the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Rap Festival, we'll card to it so you guys can take a look. Sam, this is awesome. Absolutely love seeing brand new stuff coming out of E3D, and I'm sure there is some really awesome things coming very soon. So if that's your kind of thing, make sure to get subscribed and leave a like on this. We have so much more here to cover at 3D Printopia, and I'm told that there might be some diamonds, because diamonds are a maker's best friend. So let's go head over to Diamondback and see what they've been up to the past couple of months. Come along. As you all know, diamonds are a maker's best friend. I'm here with my buddy Harris. We're gonna be talking about the newest product to come out of an awesome collaboration between Diamondback, E3D, and Bamboo Lab. Check this out.
That's right, yep. As Grant just mentioned, we just launched this. We have 3 different sizes that we're offering of a Diamondback version for the X1 and the P1 series, so a 0.4, 0.6, and a 0.8. Super excited to get these out there and get them into your hands. You're running that abrasive filament, not have to worry about any type of wear point, at least with your nozzle and hot end. Right now they're being sold exclusively through E3D and their website and their reseller channels.
Gotta love it. And if you have a Bamboo and you want to put quite literally the hardest nozzle available on it, you gotta get one of these. You know we're huge fans of the Diamondback nozzles at 3D Musketeers because you never have to replace them. You never have to service it. It just runs and runs. The Energizer battery of 3D printing. So install a 0.4, install a 0.6, and then never bother anymore because you can run whatever abrasives you want through it and you're not going to hurt the nozzle.
That's right.
Because of course, outside of diamond filament, which I'm told is actually a thing.
Does exist. However, I don't know that it would wear it out, more so polish the internals than anything, so.
So good rather than bad.
Oh, I'd call that good, right? You're gonna polish it just like the tip. If you look at the tip, it's a mirror polish finish. We do that with diamonds. So if you're running diamond filament, you're just gonna make that internal bore closer to a polished surface.
I love it. Yeah, and as you guys know, Bamboos already come with hardened nozzles, but over time, you will wear down a hardened steel nozzle. When it's time to make that upgrade, spend a little extra, take a look at going to diamond because that's the last nozzle you ever need, right?
That's right. One other thing I want to highlight on this is we've actually iterated the geometry and design of the tip, and that's integrated into these nozzles here. So we saw a little bit of buildup and things like that would occur with the stock nozzle, the original tip.
Yeah, the tip that looks like that.
Right. And so we saw that particularly with PETG material.
Yep.
And so we said, okay, how can we mitigate that buildup, reduce that buildup? And so we've updated the tip design, that geometry, and that's included in this. We did have to remove the size and the logo. We decided to do that, so now it's just a smooth outside, but we figure it's worth the benefit that it provides and reduce that buildup.
Did a bit of a fillet around the edge just to help get rid of any blobs that might try to stick to it.
What we saw was if you weren't perfectly perpendicular to the bed, you'd in certain directions start to create a plow effect. And so so we've added a fillet, a radius to that outside edge to help mitigate that misalignment that can occur. And again, in turn, it reduces that buildup and keeps your nozzle cleaner longer.
And I know a lot of you, because I've got some sitting at our shop, you run your friggin' bamboo nozzle into your part. It has a tendency to bend at the heat break. So, you know, having that slightly rounded tip means you can still run it. Just don't do that, please. Because, yeah, it's very easy to not have it perfectly perpendicular to the build surface. And I do notice it. I just thought I was over extruding a little bit. So maybe I wasn't. I like them. I got to try out the new style, but if it's anything like the old style, they're going to run great. I'm going to miss the logo, but that's okay. I still think it's pretty awesome.
It's a good trade-off, I think.
I think it is a good trade-off. It was tough to see anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
It was one of those because you could.
With that said, you know, we had a lot of effort, a lot of testing that's gone into it before the launch, ensuring that we've got a great product coming to market here.
Is there anything else you want to show the folks at home?
So this is kind of the suite of nozzles we have available for the different systems. Something that we saw is opportunity to enhance the base material we're using. So we launched with a brass nozzle, and we did that purposely. We wanted it to be as close to a drop-in replacement as possible.
Right.
We're now looking at improving with some copper alloys that retain hardness at elevated temperatures with a nickel plating.
At elevated temperatures.
Oh yeah, very fitting, right? So, not high temp just yet. But that's still at 300 degrees Celsius limit. But this copper has 3 times the thermal conductivity that the brass has.
Right.
And the hardness, improved hardness. And so there's been some concern about the body wearing. Well, now let's eliminate that. By
Forget
going
it,
with
let's
a
go to an
different material.
alloy and never deal with it again. I like it. The silver's also kind of nice.
Yeah.
Is it nickel plated?
It is nickel plated.
Okay.
Yep.
Is Hendrick doing it? Love to see the innovation coming out of Diamondback where they're pushing abrasive resistant nozzles to the literal limits. It's diamond. I don't know of anything harder than diamonds, but I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me if there is, right?
You bet.
Yeah. Guys, take a look at Diamondback. Links are in that description. Thank you, Harris, so much for showing us all the new things that are happening here, and I'm very much looking forward to next extruder stuff. Coming soon, TM. It has to happen at some point.
Inevitable, right?
Guys, we have so much more to cover here at 3D Printopia 2024. So let's move on to the next one, and I'm gonna try to run out of here as fast as I can with this whole handful of diamond nozzles. Okay, see ya. I know I'm not the only one that has a bucket of hardware because, you know, you end up with spares, you get pieces that fall out, and it goes into the mixed bucket of shame that you'll dig around when you know you have that one bolt, but you can't find it. We're here with my buddy Amos, who intends to solve that problem by helping you get your life a little more sorted. Talk to us.
Right. So what I am working on here is shop chaos reducing machines.
Okay.
And so the natural state of any shop is utter disorder.
The world does go to entropy, and so does my shop.
Right, entropy reducing machines. That's what we're doing. I had previously built that mechanical sorting machine.
Right.
And the problem with the mechanical sorting machine is it doesn't take into account length, and also if you have 2 screws that have the same size head diameter, you're out a lot.
Right.
It's not going to tell the difference between 2 things that, you know, like a 1024 and a 1032.
Very close in size.
Very close in size. And so to solve this problem, what we have here is a Lumen PNP.
That's a pick and place machine,
yes,
right?
That's
From
correct.
Opulo?
Yes, from
Okay.
Opulo. It's designed to pick and place surface mount electrical components on printed circuit boards. So you've got your solder paste put down on a circuit board, you pick up components from reels of tape, send it through a reflow oven, you got a circuit board.
Woo, circuit board!
That's its day job. A lot of these components are smaller than a grain of rice.
Right.
So it's very precise. And I happen to have one lying around. So
who doesn't?
Yeah.
I mean,
as
I
one
don't.
does. Yeah.
I don't, but
so
maybe one day.
What we have though is now the ability that you can take these screws, and on the screen here, I don't know if it will show up, but I can place these screws on here, and with a ring light on here, it gives me a nice shadow. And even if it's not black oxide, if it's stainless steel, you
still get that shadow.
A lovely shadow of the screw. So you're considering the head diameter, the pitch, everything on that. And when you have a positive ID, then what you can do is say, oh, here's the coordinates of the head, go over here and we can say pick up on the nozzle, and then you can say tell it to go to where a known bin is, and we've got these little bins here that
these
have labels
bins
on it.
These bins are awesome. We'll link to these in the description, but I have converted all of my Harbor Freight storehouse bins to using Amos's bins, because he's got a little thing in there so that you can actually put it, you put a label on it. And
other little features too, like I've Sharpied on mine, so you can put it right there and be like, yep, that's the right length. There
no,
you go.
you didn't.
On either axis. I've also got a little color there. That is the Wera color code for the drive size for that screw. So it just makes makes your life easy.
Oh, wow.
Pain in the butt to set up initially, but it's easy once it's done. And so then you can go over with the screw, which we're still holding there. And when it drops it over the bin, you can say place, and it drops the screw where it needs to go. Rinse and repeat until you have screws that it doesn't have bin for.
Yep.
And then it says, hey, you need to go get these bins. Swap it out to those bins, and it continues sorting.
You've also been messing with something. Can I pick this up?
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit makery. This, you all probably won't know what this is.
So we have the logo here.
Yep, this is also the logo. You got to add something to it. Am I gonna get it? There you go.
Yeah.
You got to add something to it.
Yeah. So if you keep that kind of centered, there you go. There's the Moosehead logo.
Nice.
I was gonna say my hand's probably in the way,
Yeah.
but it is literally shadow moose in this.
Yeah.
The shadow creates a moose because shadow moose.
There's all sorts of cool things you can do with the technique.
That's so cool.
Very
That's
fun.
So cool.
The principle here, though, is that with just a little bit more programming intelligence here and some cameras, we can make our Core XY motion systems do more in the field of keeping things in order. And that's the main goal here.
Dude, this is super freaking cool. If you guys aren't following Shadow Moose Industries, you need to. Where can the folks at home find you?
You can find me at moose.org.
Links in the description. You know where to go.
There isn't at time of speaking right now, but there will be a tab for this machine a few days after the event.
By the time this video is out, if it's not there, you now all have to go to the contact page and send Amos angry emails. Don't do that. Actually, don't do that, please. I've always liked seeing the development of this throughout the years. Last year, we saw the projector system. This year, now we're seeing it being utilized in a pick and place aspect where now it's not only identifying, but it's also has the theoretical ability to do the full sorting, which is super cool. But as most maker projects, this one is ever evolving, and that means it will just keep getting better. So we're gonna be following along, and certainly I got a box of shame that we need to clean up and fix. So certainly that's gonna be a topic coming up on the channel. So if you wanna see it, let us know down in those comments, and maybe we'll put something fun together. Amos, thank you so much. This is super awesome. Every time we speak, you have something that is just blowing my mind with how you're taking just off the shelf stuff, putting it together in a way that is just absolutely unique. And that to me is what fully embodies this industry.
Yeah.
Thanks for being
It's always
awesome.
a fun thing to do.
Guys, check out Shadow Moose Industries in that description. We have a lot more content coming up for 3D Printopia 2024. We are up on the second floor here at 3D Printopia. It's the makers area where we're looking at really cool stuff. And we got my buddy Wilkes here with what we're coining as spite-driven engineering. Wilkes, talk to me about this. What the heck is this thing?
It is a project of hatred and of love.
And of love.
So
Okay.
hatred because it's based on a printer that at the time, which I don't actually hate you, Rohan, don't worry, that didn't have parametric files for it.
Which one?
It was the Rook 180.
Okay, a Rook. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So this has Rook DNA.
Okay.
And there was no parametric files for it, and I wanted a bigger one because I had Ender beds, not Prusa beds.
And so you decided to completely 3D print, for the most part,
Yeah.
a 3D printer and made it so it's 235 XY?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the exercise was I wanted to extend it, which I later found out that there is something called the Rook 180 Extended, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I learned FreeCAD because
Oh, full masochist. Okay.
yeah. I
Well, that's
don't
where
do
hatred
anything the
comes in.
easy way. I'm very hard-headed.
I'm sorry, FreeCAD. I know so many people love you. I have struggled. So if you're watching this, send help, please. Because like I'd love to learn, but I suck at it.
So this whole thing's printable without any support.
Wait, one more time. Fully printable without support?
Yeah.
What's the minimum build size for this? Like, could an Ender do it?
Yes, actually, a Prusa Mini can build this.
So 180. Okay.
A Prusa
Dude.
Mini can do it. Everything except for this spool holder right here, which barely fits on a P1P.
Okay.
But that is an optional part. You do not have to put that on there.
I like external spool holders personally, but I
Sure.
understand the internal ones are nice. So I'm told there's some other interesting things about this. There's a Super Pinda on
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and the hot end is from what?
It's from a bamboo P1P.
So did you use the P1P connection interface, or did you just cut the wires?
I just cut the wires.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
And I would have, if I had known that I didn't have to do that, I would have been using the X1 ones.
Yeah, you should have just used
But-
the X1.
But
They
again,
just-
I do things the hard way, and it's not necessarily always by choice.
This is very much the maker way of doing things. It's like, F it, I'm gonna do it the hard way, not because I can or because I should, but because I don't know any other way. So
I have a hammer, and everything's looking an awful lot like a nail.
you know, that laptop could look like a nail if
Yeah.
you're trying hard enough.
Yeah, well, I use FreeCAD, so
That's fair.
So it is a nail. The coolest thing about this for me is, yes, it started out because of spite, but in the end it became...
It's a bit of a labor of love,
What is bamboo's like secret sauce to being reliable? And I was hoping to like divine that somehow.
You and I have had different experiences there, but okay.
Anyway, so this...
What's the secret sauce being reliable? I think they put a lot of engineering into it.
I'm assuming that they know more than me because they do. So I just copied them. So down here, this belt, that's a P1P's Z belt.
It's literally the Z belt.
It is literally that one because I thought it would be nice to have an easy to find enclosed, like closed belt.
That you know it
Because
exists. It's not going anywhere. Yeah,
I know it
okay.
works in mine, so use it.
I mean, screw it. Yeah, if it works, it works.
The 3 lead screws, all driven by one motor.
Yep.
For a Z-axis, because how can they get out of sync if they are locked together?
I can think of many ways. It involves belt stretching, but yes.
Well,
But
yeah.
see, that's where the bed probe comes in, and it will take care of if it goes out of sync.
Hopefully.
It should.
It's still in its early days.
Yeah, you haven't. I'm told you
Yeah.
haven't fully tuned this thing yet. You're still kind of, working through some of the kinks. But
Yeah.
it's a fully functional, mostly 3D printed 3D printer that is somewhat Rook inspired, built out of spite. So out of spite. If you don't have a company name, Out of Spite Engineering would actually be a phenomenal company name.
If I do that, you can get some royalties.
That's
I like
on
that.
camera. I will collect on that, absolutely, because there's tons of royalties in open source projects. But
Yeah.
this is I actually really like this, and I've wanted to
Thank
build
you.
a Rook. Coming soon, TM to the channel. This is nice because like the Rook uses like the 180 size stuff, so like a V0 I think is
Yeah.
the same size. I think this is cool though because Ender parts are not. Creality is not changing that ecosystem for years. And it's not going anywhere, so the parts are affordable.
Yeah.
They're easy to get, and hey,
That was the other thing, is that I was like, oh my gosh, there's like all these junkyard printers. Everyone here has an Ender that they started with and then
Dude,
abandoned.
This thing is it's really cool, black and yellow theme. You might be a DeWalt fanboy, or is that Wiz Khalifa?
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
So Hack Pittsburgh,
Pat's pick.
hackpgh.org is the makerspace that Lucian, come here. Yeah, this is my buddy Lucian. He and I are both directors at Hack Pittsburgh, and 100% of the skills that I learned to make this were learned at Hack Pittsburgh. They've given quite a lot, and that's their colors. So
This is why you should look at joining your local maker spaces and your local hacker spaces, because you might meet really cool-ish. I mean, you're cool. Lucian's okay. Really cool people like these guys.
I think he's an acquired taste.
And what'd you just drag him here against his will?
Yeah.
The trunk was really cramped.
Yeah.
Well, some people are into that kind of thing.
Dude, the chloroform was the hardest part.
No, it's not. That's actually pretty easy. This is why you should support your local maker spaces, though, because you never know who you're going to meet, whether it's Out of Spite Engineering, I'm coining that for you, or literally someone who works on the Lumen PNP with Opulo. you never know who's going to be there, what kind of crazy minds you're going to find who can help you decide that, yeah, you know what, instead of just going to buy an already working 3D printer that you can get off the shelf for relatively affordable, why don't you spend the next couple of weeks of your life learning a program that is very, 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 very difficult to learn, where you'll get an amazing skill that is marketable and you can make a bunch of money doing it. And then you can build something from scratch that is unlike anything you've ever seen before, and then completely give it away for free.
And then at the end of all of this, your therapist makes a lot of money.
Dude, this is awesome. This is
Thank you.
such a cool piece of kit.
Yeah.
I am excited to see this thing run like crazy fast Voron speeds and see like where the printed parts start to give up the ghost, right? Where you start to like crack layers and things like that. But I like that you went with the, I'm gonna go open source, off the shelf-ish.
Oh, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
He wouldn't show me CAD unless I did.
Oh, okay, so you're a big open
No,
source
no,
guy.
no, no, no.
No, I got it. It's
But no, I
literally
did
in my
ask him,
blood.
show me this workflow because it's important. And
Yeah.
it is. We need to keep things open. That way everyone can learn.
Where can people find this? Because it's called the Magpie, right?
Yes. it's the
Does it
Magpie.
like shiny things?
It's named after my wife and she does. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
hi Maggie, this is your printer. I'm sorry I probably gave some stress in the marriage
Yeah.
for a bit.
The info is here.
If you guys want to check out this awesome Magpie printer by Out of Spite Engineering, yes, you just go file that LLC in the next 2 weeks because once this video goes live, someone's grabbing that name. So if that website's available, you better own it. You can check them out, links in the description down below to their GitHub where you can download everything for this and print it yourself. I know there are those of you out there that want to see this thing hit its limits and, well, I mean, hey, maybe if you want to hit the limits, you can, but I don't know, maybe we should do one of these and see how fast we can run it before it starts to melt down on us.
I just want people to find problems with this and tell me that,
It's not made of metal, and then
Yeah.
throws it off the, yeah. Wilkes, anything you want to leave the folks at home with?
yeah, printers are cool.
Awesome, well, Wilkes, this is amazing. I really do like it. We might build one on the channel, might let it get a couple of versions down the road
Yeah,
before
that might be smart.
But guys, we got a lot more awesome content coming at you from 3D Printopia 2024. Stay tuned. On to the next one.
God, come on.
You guys know I love audio, and if you love audio too, you're gonna love some stuff coming up on the channel. One of which is gonna be these awesome cans that are sitting on my ears right now, the Headamames. These are these semi-open, and Morgan here, the creator of Headamame, has got the closed back. Morgan, talk to me about these awesome freaking headphones.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you finally get to listen to them. So I designed these like 4 or 5 years ago in the middle of COVID because I wanted people to be able to, triple their money in terms of sound quality.
Yep.
The inspiration came from a set of headphones that cost $1,000 and use a $12 part as the driver. And I thought, you know what? There's some room here for
I can
improvement.
do better than this. Yeah.
Basically making high-end audio super approachable. If you have a 3D printer and you're willing to put in the work and do the assembly yourself,
Yep.
you can get really good audio.
I have 3D printers, I am willing to put in the assembly, and I love audio, so all of this works out well for us. We're gonna be working with some companies to do the open backs, but do them a little bit different. We're gonna get ones made out of different materials. We're gonna try TPU, we're gonna try nylon, we're gonna try metals. And if there's a particular metal that you want us to try on these open backs, let me know in those comments because I've got some fun ones in mind, specifically niobium.
Ooh.
A metal that you probably don't know of, but if you live anywhere near Florida, you've seen it before because it's used to make rocket engines. And is it useful for headphones? Probably not, but it'd be super damn cool, so I'm gonna do it because we can. But the Headamames are not the only set that you guys have here. You've got
The
the
Minamames.
yeah. So these are on ear versus over the ear. Now I'm an over the ear guy, so I already know I'm doing the full Headamames. But if you like something a little more lightweight, a little bit easier, the Minamames are gonna be the right ones for you. And they're freaking 3D printed, man. So, if you're a little bit rough on your headphones, you just print new parts, right?
That's exactly it.
And of course it allows for crazy amounts of customization. So no matter what color scheme you're into.
Yeah, and actually these cones were designed by, do you know Dave Makes Stuff?
Yeah.
He did those cones up so
In
that
end
you don't have
topology.
to, in end topology. the craziest software. I
Yes.
think he's a wizard.
A
He might be
software-
a certified wizard.
A software that if you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it.
More than you can afford, pal.
And topology. Runs about $25,000 a year, last I checked. But yeah, Dave makes stuff, kind of knows stuff, and he did all of this,
Yeah.
and it's support free, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never actually held a pair of these in real life. I've always kind of
You've
seen
been
them in
putting it off a
videos.
little bit, haven't you?
Oh, look, man, okay? I'm the one that calls people out. This is my show, damn it. Yeah, I have. So we've been working on slowly introducing audio to the channel, and I want to have a couple of audio projects ready so that we can know that we've got content ready. I don't have to like
Right.
rush to get all of this printed and then
Sure.
running. I
No,
heard
that's
these
good.
yesterday off camera, but now you got a DAC with you today and a little bit of a headphone
That's
amp.
right.
Can we blast some tunes that we definitely can't share with YouTube?
Absolutely.
Because I'm very curious. Oh, you're doing a Touch by Daft Punk. That is so much better with the headphone amp. So I will try to describe to you guys what's going on here. We've got really good clear highs. The soundstage is pretty good on these. Oh, and you've got ones that have microphone too. Is that
That's on purpose.
nice? So you can do a removable mic,
Yeah, that's it.
some hi-hats.
And
It's
these
crisp.
drivers actually don't exist yet.
Really?
Yeah, they haven't been released. I'm one of the few companies that has them, and they're literally a pane of glass that you're listening to do the oscillations and create that sound wave.
So are they planar magnetic?
No, it's just glass.
So how's the glass vibrating? Is it electrostatic?
It's got a plastic outer and a glass inner, and that's what does the actual like sound transmission.
very little cone distortion is basically
Yeah.
what that means.
Exactly.
God, these have really good bottom. I want to try the closed
Oh
backs.
yeah, totally.
I am traditionally not a closed back fan. I like to be able to hear my surroundings, but F it. Huh. I like the bass on the open backs better.
Yeah.
The lower end is, open backs are good because if
It's
I
so
wanted to
subjective.
talk in a voice that I thought was normal, this is what I would be talking in, but I know it's way too loud. I'm used to talking with closed back headphones on. These sound really good. They are a little tough to drive, I'm gonna be honest. If you're running it from your phone, you're gonna need some sort of headphone amplifier, but from a computer, you'll have plenty of output
problem.
power to do it. Yeah,
And even most phones, like I have an amp here because we're running two.
yeah.
Most phones can run one pretty well.
It sounded good. It was a little quiet for my personal taste.
Sure.
We've been doing some really specific listening, but you know, if you've got even a basic headphone amp like a Shit Stack, yes, that's a company, Shit Audio. SCHITT, I believe.
They got the name before we could.
Yeah. Hilarious name, but if you have a Shit Stack, you'll run these things, and as long as you can run, what's their resistance?
Oh, these are just the 32 ohm driver. They're
Okay.
they're standard.
As long as you run 32 ohm drivers, you'll be just fine.
Do you know why they're called Headamame? It's because some guy on Reddit said that this looked like edamame beans. And I said, great, this is called Headamame now.
Headamame, and so then Minamame because these are smaller.
Exactly.
Okay,
You
I
can
love
even
it.
name yours Grantamame.
I'm gonna give away the plan. We have heavily 3D scanned my head and Amber's head and a bunch of other people, but specifically my head. We're gonna be 3D printing my head with a really, really good representation of my ears. But we're going to
Okay.
put microphones inside of my ears so that when we put the headphones on, when you're listening, you're literally listening how I hear things.
This is a crazy idea. I'm
Well,
excited to see how it turns out.
It's not a
This is
crazy
amazing.
idea when you have all the technology to do it.
This is true.
So stay tuned because that's coming. The actual ears and headphone thing, that's going to be a few months. We're doing some really cool audio stuff. You guys are going to see it, don't worry, but we will definitely be doing a build of these coming soon. So we're going to do a cool colorway. So let us know in those comments what colorway you want to see. And hey, I don't know, maybe if you all are super cool, we'll give away a pair when we do our builds. So Morgan, I've always wanted to meet you in person. I really, really like the idea of being able to DIY your own audio. You know, just the same way that we love the Deposition Sound guys for doing desktop speakers
Absolutely.
and bookshelf speakers and that kind of thing. This to me is one extra way to get involved with audio and take multiple incredibly expensive hobbies and combine them into one incredibly expensive hobby. Morgan, this has been super cool. Again, let us know the colorways in the comments. Of course, links to Headamame in that description. That is all we have for you all today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And if you want to see Morgan on a podcast, let me know in those comments as well. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one.
When total cost of film, if I was talking about that,
So the files are available. People
Yeah.
could customize them as well. I can't believe nobody's done a cat ear version of this little, like,
They're not getting ooh woo out of me. They got to pay more for that.